Studios.
Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing today? My name is John Quinton. I am the project director for the Teen and Youth Alliance of Glenarden. We are a drug-free support grantee, which is sponsored through the Centers for Disease Control. So today is our first episode of the Purple Couch Prevention Podcast. So let me just explain what that is. So today we're just going to talk some very basic, simple messaging on prevention, harm reduction in our communities. So if you have a teenager or you have a youth or even if you're a young adult and you trying to wonder and you know what's going on or you're trying to figure out a way, we're going to talk about some strategic steps that you can put in place. It's going to have a straight conversation. We may delve off a little into some sports or current events, but it's always going to wrap back around on a positive message to prevention. So I brought a couple of my guests along, some of my friends, some of my good partners, and just to kind of help us get this conversation going. So I want to introduce to you my bandmate and friend, Mr. Charlie Groves.
How you doing,
Tell me about
man?
yourself, Charlie.
I'm from Charles County, born and raised. I come from a good, wholesome home, good background. My mom raised me. I think she did a good job for making me the man that I am today. I like go-go music, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm a bandmate, like you just said. But other than that, I'm a leader. I'm a leader of men. I got a good, in my household, how I educate my kids on what not to do and what to do. Everything starts in your home, you know what I mean? As far as how you parents and how you raising. Since we on the culture theme of, you know, drug reduction and stuff like that. And how about you?
Let me introduce. Let me introduce Mr. Virgil. He, I mean, he's very close to the family. I call him a family friend, but as well, he is the guru of what you call drug prevention here in the state of Maryland. Probably all over the world, to be honest with you, but.
Well, thank you, and I'm glad to be here. It's good to be with both of you. I think it's an honor, and congratulations to your first. Okay, I'm Virgil Boysaw Jr. I'm the project director for Charting Careers in Annapolis, Maryland, and I've been in the drug field a long time. So I'm really interested in really hearing from everybody, and we can share and talk, you know, about that. But one thing I do want to say, you can take that the Oriole hat off. I'm a Cleveland. I'm a Cleveland native. I'm a Cleveland, and please pray for me. I'm a Cleveland Brown fan, and you know we've been suffering. And every time we come to Baltimore, the Ravens kick our butts. But we have a great basketball team, so I'm great to hear what we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah, your basketball team is doing real well.
You're very good. I was watching them today. They did win today. They played Utah.
I'm not an Orioles fan.
Oh, you had that.
I got this on because, again, youth sports.
Oh, okay.
So the Baltimore Institute that I got on, the shirt that I got on, this is actually a basketball team out of Baltimore. It's a high school. Okay. And they got a deal with Under Armour.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
You know, I like stuff like that. Even with Largo High School, with Mr. Cameron Ward and all them out there. I just, you know, just trying to support my youth.
That's a good.
The ones that's doing the right thing.
They're doing the right thing. Yeah.
The thing, when I started to think about how I can bring a prevention message, you know, the main thing I thought, because I looked at some research and I started looking at other podcasts and other content out there. And one thing I thought is when you're trying to teach a message of prevention, you know, a lot of times it can be boring, it's kind of sterile, actually. And you know, I believe that the people that really need to hear it the most, you got to try to reach them in a way that it doesn't scare them away and it doesn't get too technical. And for me, you know, I truly believe that if we can, as our community, if we can gravitate towards making prevention something that we put in full, you know, we put at the forefront, then we can start cutting back on some of the criminal justice side. You know? Right. I'm gonna say this, like I was in a meeting the other day, yesterday, a couple days ago, and I actually got a chance to sit with the state's attorney for Howard County.
Wow.
And I've seen his emails come through my box. I didn't know who he was, but so I'm sitting in this meeting, and you know, we're talking about mental health in teens. And it's a young black guy sitting there, and I'm thinking like, I'm the state's attorney for Howard County, and I'm looking at him thinking like, and y'all know Howard County. It's like, wow, you know. And so after we started talking, you know, and you know, as we're going through the meeting, he expressed that he was he was originally from Bronx, New York, and so he kind of grew up and he's seen things, and so. Long story tolerable is that while we were talking and I was, you know, reflecting on my experience with teens,
Right.
you know, my point was, look, you know, I work with teens. So when I get a group of teens, you know, you may not save all of them, but if I can reach a few of them,
Right.
and you know, so somebody like the state's attorney who looks like us,
reach one, teach one.
reach one, teach one, right?
Right.
So when I told him, I said, you know, if I have bring a group of teens to you, I'm gonna give, you know, I'm gonna put the choice out there. So, and this is the state's attorney for Howard County. So his job is to, you know, prosecute crime. So you can either meet him one or two ways. You can meet him and look up to him and want to strive to become like he has, you know, young lawyer who worked his way up to a high level. Or you can meet him at his level of responsibility, which is on the other side, what he's been taxed to do. So, and those are the choices you got to offer. So, we also talked about how can we reach the teens, how can we reach the youth, you know, how can we get them to understand that their actions have consequences.
Right.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of our parents, today's parents, are teaching their kids about drug awareness or the right and wrong way of life? Do you think so?
Let me say, I think that most responsible parents want to. They just may not know how to. Okay, let me go back. One of our mission statements of the Teen and Youth Alliance is, you know, one of the things we understand that here in Maryland that marijuana is legal. So when I decided to write a grant and start going down the prevention and getting support and getting the community engaged, how I decided to address it was say, look, we know marijuana is illegal. It's legal, just as legal as alcohol is.
Right.
But you as a responsible parent, you wouldn't give your 15-year-old a fifth of Hennessy and say, here, go, you know, enjoy yourself.
Right.
So we want to change the attitudes for that parent to say, you know, marijuana is the same way. No underage, you know, person under 25 should be using THC. You should be using cannabis because it destroys their brain cells.
Right.
A lot of people may not know that. So from my research and what I found is that, you know, you start looking at, you know, the legalization of marijuana and then the youth use has increased. Also, the test scores are decreasing.
Right.
It kind of correlates. So now our kids and teens can't sit and take a standardized test because they can't focus unless they have to go smoke something. You know, so do
you think that's mental?
Man, I'll leave it up to Virgil. So then we start talking about the technicalities of it. He's been doing this much longer than.
Well, you're looking at prevention, and first, a lot of folk don't understand the whole continuum of drugs anyway. I mean, you got, we said earlier, you got prevention, you have harm reduction now, you have recovery, you have treatment, and you have to throw in law enforcement, okay? Because law enforcement deal with the supply side. The adults don't realize how important they are. And prevention doesn't have to be a high technical. I mean, what we call alternative activity.
Right.
Okay. You take your kid to King's Dominion, or you take your kids to a ball game or something. That's prevention. Okay. Prevention is one of those areas that is so needed, but so underfunded. Most of the dollars, you know, go to treatment.
Right.
Okay. But prevention is more cost effective. Okay, so again, if people can understand that you get more bang for your buck by investing in prevention so that you don't have to worry about putting all that money into treatment. But you know how the market is. It's more money in treatment than it is into the cure.
Right. I mean, there's a thing they say that is that there's a big industry in locking, in criminal justice.
Right. Do you feel like kids of a certain age should be locked up, or should they be getting some kind of evaluation?
Well, I'm gonna say this. If you want to look at it holistically, and what we have found that works is that we have to start treating substance abuse as a medical problem. It's as a disease. And if you look at it that way, then I don't think locking them up, locking somebody up, especially say you have a teen who just started to experiment and they haven't quite, graduated to the harder drugs. Why would we lock them up when we can teach them and let them know that, hey, this is not the path to go, and show them what the result could be.
Right. What are some of the things you think we could do as fellow members of a coalition, far as trying to reach the youth and help the youth, that they get entertained by the wrong things? What can we do as people too?
And that's a good segue. We're going to actually take a quick break, and we're going to come back with that one, because then we're going to go into, I guess, the culture side, and we're also going to talk about, some things just some simple steps that we can look at, and just how culture is changing our attitude. So we'll come back after the break, and we'll touch back. Be right back with you.
Got the stuff?
Yeah. By the way, that's not normal coke. It's got fentanyl.
What's that?
It's an opioid that's like morphine, but it's only about 100 times more potent. It's good stuff, man. A trace can kill you.
What?
Yeah, it's a lifetime supply. You only have to take it once. Have fun.
If you knew the cost, would you take the risk?
Welcome back to the Purple Couch Prevention Podcast. And I'm sitting here with a couple of my friends, and we're just having just a simple discussion, and we're just talking. This is episode 1, so hopefully you'll be back. We are just here again, just talking about some prevention messaging and how our community, and I'm sitting here getting the feeling, guys, that, we all have the same love
Right.
for what we doing, right?
Right.
And so we left off with Charlie had bringing up a very good question about, how does culture tie into what we're doing and into the influences, which is, huge for me. So what do you think?
I think the entertainment and our kids being brainwashed into different things about life, I think that's what's going on, because every household is not the same. You got broken homes to where your parents are doing other things and not paying attention to their kids. So what their kids do, they look for attention, and they look for the wrong attention.
Right.
So once you get with a certain crowd who's over here doing X, Y, Z, that becomes a problem. Versus you might have a tight home over here where the father and the mother not putting up with the situation, to where it's like they rough on their kid, to where he don't want to get whooped by the old man, so he stay in his lane. But you got the other kids over here that's not getting the attention they want, and they go over here doing the Tupac thing, which is hanging with the thugs, and then that's how it goes. So what can we do to change that?
Well,
to spin the narrative.
One thing is we have to keep in mind that there's a word called resilience. And resilience is very important to prevention, because it doesn't matter where you were brought up. If a person learns what resilience is, despite your circumstance, in spite of the environment, that one can rise above it. Now, is it hard and is it challenging? Oh, yes. But that's why there's a lot of programs and that want to reach out. I happen to work for a nonprofit that actually is what we call a youth serving agency. These are folk that target what they call, quote, high risk youth.
Yeah.
But we believe in prevention that all youth are high risk, okay? Yeah. No matter where you live, no matter how much your family income is. Again, that commercial, what is that? Shingles don't care. Drugs don't care.
So are all kids available? So you have, how they have a saying of, these kids can't get in, but these ones can. Yeah. So that associated with all of them can get in that situation?
Prevention?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the key is, now the good, unique thing about prevention we're doing today, we have what we call a youth-led, adult-guided movement.
Okay.
So the whole idea is really to get the youth to become the champions.
Right.
So we teach them to become peer leaders. Because if you, to be quite frank with you, some of us you don't relate well with
right.
them. But we can do something. We can support. We can bring in funding. We can bring partnerships in. But the youth can do a great job in communicating
right.
with one another.
See, I learned from a background of everything was strict, or we always had the teaching of they always talking to us a certain way.
Or
Right.
So that's how,
talking at you.
that's how I was raised. So now I try to break the barrier on how can I compromise,
Right.
or what can I do in my household to help my kids not go over there. You know what I mean? I have an open door policy where my kids can come talk to me about anything.
Good.
You know what I mean? I don't know how many other parents do that, but I think it helps. It helps my household. My son will be 20 in October. He just started college. I couldn't ask for a better kid.
Right.
He never gave me a run for my money at all.
Amen.
So he's into like rap music and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is, he's never gave me a run for my money to where I'm out here chasing him down the street, or I'm worried about him going over to the house over here with the kids I know that's over here doing what they're doing. And it's hard to talk to those kids when their mind's already made up what they want to do.
Let me ask you a question. Like, so using your son as the point of reference, how are his friends?
My
And
son,
I'm saying that because
Yeah,
what I've learned
absolutely.
working with teenagers is that a lot of times you can see how your teen is going to turn out by who he
Who they
associates with.
associate with, yeah.
And, and I get the music part because, a lot of influence, and we're going to talk about that in a bit, but a lot of the influence that the kids that hits in their mind is because the music they listen to, what they're seeing on TV and social media, it kind of, almost is like it's feeding them a way that they should be. So, like for instance, your son, how are his friends? Are his friends all like your son?
So my son is very different. He hangs with Spanish kids, or he hangs with like family members. He's very different, man. And all his friends come from a good home. I'm talking about parents that got their own businesses, like construction companies.
Right.
Like my wife, she does mental health care. One of his friends, their mother does mental health care. So as far as even in the hospital field where you're talking about nursing. So it's like when I seen him talking to his friends about going to school, getting to the next level in life, I'm looking at him like, wow, like me and my wife has done an excellent job on raising our son to where I don't worry about that with him. He barely even go outside. If he go outside, he going to school, or he be like, hey Dad, can I try something, or can we go do something? So we go out to eat. We may catch a movie. His friends might come over and, they'll turn the music on and do what teenagers do, or how can I put it, or should I say that they do what now young adults do.
Right.
And it's very different. So I don't mind him having his friends at my house because it won't be out of control, if that makes sense what I'm saying.
So, Virgil, let me ask you a question from the technical standpoint. So you got a family, let's say in Annapolis or Cecil County,
Right.
and let's say you have two families. This is the tale of two families. And you got one family who's similar, to Charlie's family, and but then let's say you have another family who, for whatever reason, that the risk factors are a little bit more over that family.
Right.
How would you tell a parent that's dealing with a higher risk factor type of situation? What can a parent do to keep their kids on the best path forward, and at least to introduce some type of prevention for drugs and violence and all types of stuff that they have to deal with? What would be the best message for that parent?
Well, it's funny you brought that up because if you look at the culture, when we were growing up, okay, I'm a baby boomer. Okay, I was born in '57. So basically, we had neighborhoods and where not only the parent talked to the youth, but the community talked to the youth. Okay, and
Not now.
Well, that's right. Well, we don't have neighborhoods. You have hoods now, but we had neighborhoods, so we were really neighborly.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, matter of fact, if you think about it, back in that day, you could sit on your porch and you could see the whole community from there.
And you could correct and
And you
discipline.
could correct, right. But now everybody has patios in the backyard, so they try to get away from all that, So, but, what parents could do more than they give themselves credit for.
Right.
But parents have to be able, first of all, talk to their youth, and you had brought that up earlier. Number two, you have to sometimes be kind of guided to certain experiences. A lot of youth don't get those experiences, and they're not exposed.
Right.
I remember taking my son to the Meyerhoff one time to go see Burt Bacharach. He hated it. Okay, hated it. You don't know why he's there. But now He's grown, got his own family. Guess who he listens to?
Yeah.
Burt Bacharach. Couldn't tell him that. But see, sometimes.
But that
they
probably
don't
was
know.
something that you did as far as an outing,
Right,
where you and
right,
your son
right.
had bonding time. You know what I mean?
But he didn't know at the time
Yeah.
that he would be gravitating to
Right.
that. He had, but as a parent, sometimes, like even the music program,
Okay.
it amazes me how many youth are not playing instruments now. I'm talking about in the schools.
Right.
I've seen white schools have so many huge music programs. Go to a black school, and you have you're lucky to have 20 people in the band. Okay, the orchestra or the concert band or playing ensemble music.
Right.
I just feel like some of the youth, man, that's not what they gravitating towards.
Well, the point I'm
That's
making.
just- I'm just being honest,
But here's about. But let's not forget what education is about. Education is exposure. Now you can always
Absolutely,
say I
absolutely,
don't like that,
absolutely.
but at least you've been exposed.
Absolutely.
Planting seeds.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
you're planting seeds. There's a lot of things I took in school I didn't like, but you know what? I never forgot it. Okay, and I didn't realize that becomes a building block. Our youth need building blocks, and I like your analogy about seeds because when you plant a seed, you don't get the harvest the next day.
Right. It takes time. It takes time.
You gotta
Absolutely.
water it.
And you don't know, they need your guidance and your experiences in terms of guiding them. And then they'll remember, you know what, I'm so glad I didn't want to go, but I'm glad my father or my mother.
Well, Mr. Virgil, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think we have many men out here today that's actual leaders that can lead? They can lead young.
Let me answer that.
You know what I mean? I'm just being real because I hear two sides of. I hear we don't have enough men that can lead, and we have men that can. But I would like to hear somebody at least speak up and say, I think in our culture we do have great
I
leading
think,
men.
I know the perception could be that we lack in that.
Yeah.
But the actual reality is we have so many groups out here. We have 100 black men. We have NAACP. We got there's so many. I'm with the organization Omega Psi Phi, which that's part of our mandate is to get young black males and work with them, and all the other Divine Nines do the same thing.
That's right.
So there's so many organizations where there are representation of us that are trying to mentor the youth. So we can't say there's a lack. Now, what may be missing is how do we link these resources to the community. So that's probably the part, because if your perception is reality and you don't know that it's out there, and then you have these organizations that are providing these services and they're like, well, where the kids at?
Right.
What our coalition and with my definition of the coalition model is, we're going to link those services to those people that need it most. So that's kind of what we do. So when I'm bringing together different people, and I know what their service model is, and I know what they're good at. So if I get people in the community say, hey, man, we got a group of teens over here. They just hanging out at the park. We don't know what to do with them.
Right.
Say, okay, I got my coach over at the Boys and Girls Club, who's looking for kids. He wants them. So let's link them two together. We'll throw an event or have a social and, and bring those families in and bring that coach in, and we'll connect them. So that's kind of what coalition work in my definition.
And I think that's the points and things that can work.
Yeah.
Again, I have a lot of family members that do different things, as far as putting your kids in sports, just keeping them focused on their schoolwork and whatever sport of their choice that they like. Like I got a nephew who they run track and field. They love it. They also play football. Again, my nephew's a great guy to where him and his wife, they have athletic scholars and smart kids in their household.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can we have these citizens like them and their kids to reach one, teach one, to follow their lead as well?
I think we just gotta, one thing, don't give up. I like the words you used earlier. Be resilient. Know that, sometimes, experience is the best teacher, but in not every case, it don't have to be. You don't have to go through the experiences I went through to understand that, bad choices get bad consequences.
That's right.
So, I mean, when we talk about, I think we have to do as black men, when we're talking to our kids, men in general. I don't even want to generalize it as, a race thing, but when we're adults and we're talking and we done been through experiences, sometimes the best thing we can do is try to give the message so that they'll hear where they at. Once, I work with teens. That's what I do for a living. That's my bread and butter, teen programming. and I understand in wisdom that once they started calling me I was I'm not able to relate to them. So I gotta go and find the people that they can relate to.
That's right.
And you got to find positive role models that they can relate to, that the message doesn't seem sterile and it's not, man, you don't know what you're talking about. But so, for instance, and then a negative, so for instance, I try to teach negative consequences and, positive reinforcement.
Right.
So I show a video of Rich Homie Quan. I don't know if you're familiar with Rich Homie Quan, but he was a popular rapper, hip-hop figure who died from a drug overdose.
Right.
Basically, he was taking Molly's and other type of prescription drugs, and it killed him. And he's one of several. Juice WRLD, is another one. These guys were, they
was reaching up.
They were reaching a height. They were an influence, but it was a negative influence because of the stuff that they were pushing out in their lifestyle. It's dangerous. So when I talk to a teen, I was like, you got a choice. You know what I mean? Do you want to wind up like this? Because that's what could happen. That's what could happen.
Yeah, but when you talk about, I know you mentioned about sports, but another thing in terms of exposure, that's a perfect time to expose them to many things. Science, reading. I mean, I am so amazed by how many youth, especially young males, do not enjoy reading. Reading is vital.
What they say is boring.
Yes. But reading opens up your world. I mean, you could sit in a chair and your mind can take you all over the universe just by reading. And try to get people, and not only reading, but also comprehension, understanding what you're reading. I'm amazed by how many folk, and I teach at a community college, and so I'm an adjunct faculty member, and there I'm amazed how many adults come to my class, that even 21, 22, that do not know how to read and write. And that's the other thing. That's why education is key.
Right.
The sciences, STEM programs. There's a lot. The music programs.
Do you know how many of them still haven't found themselves?
Well,
they don't know who they don't know who they are.
Right.
As far as I was always taught to do something that you like or read something that you like. Because if you read something that you like, you're going to be into it.
Right.
You're not going to be like, this is boring. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just feel like with a lot of our parents and their teachings, right now, their teacher is either their phone or their iPad.
Right. That's another challenge.
So
that's another That's another topic.
I would say this. We're going to wrap this episode up and bring it to a close. But any final closing words you want to say or leave us with? This is Virgil.
Yeah, I would say that parents need to understand that they have more to offer even today. It's not as hopeless what people think it is. I never forget the children's the Harlem Children group out of New York, where even parents who had made mistakes, they can still get on their feet as they get to go through what they had to go through and be a support to their youth. Okay, it's always hope for helping that next generation. It doesn't matter, and we need to be able to take the time to open up this world, help open the world like the world is an oyster, so that the youth can see there's a lot of opportunity out there.
Yes. Mr. Charlie, want to leave us with something?
I will say this, man. I talk to a lot of great brothers, man, and I'm in the community. I coach football, I coach basketball. I'm in a pest control field to where I'm in people's homes all the time. So I have a chance to talk to a lot of people's kids and see, where they coming from or where they trying to go and what they trying to do. As a man, I'm always one of the ones, I'm a positive guy. I'm never negative. And if I can help somebody with their kid or just talk to them, I would do that, man, because a lot of times we got so much stuff going on in life where we don't take time out to even talk to a kid. Like, for instance, and I'm gonna cut it short, but when you live in a household where your parents are not paying you any attention, it opens the door for a whole lot of other stuff. not just drugs and violence, but pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means a grandfather at a young age.
Attention. Yeah. You're right.
But we can talk about this all day long, but this is a great topic, you know.
We're gonna bring it back, and just final words is to say, parents, there is hope. If you're not understanding what's going on with your teenager, and it just seems like you're talking to a brick wall. Just understand, don't give up. Be resilient,
Yeah.
and keep going because an ounce of prevention does beat
That's right.
a pound of cure. So
That's right.
Just stay encouraged.
stay encouraged. We have resources. I'm gonna leave some links on the after the podcast, or just stay back a little bit. We're gonna leave some resources. We're gonna leave our website. I'll leave Virgil's contact and website as well. And if whatever area you're in, there's resources. And if you just you're looking for, and you can't find them, and you're looking for something, just reach out to us. We'll connect you with who you need to talk to. But again, don't give up. Give your teen a chance. Give your youth a chance, and also give yourself a chance. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Purple Couch Prevention Podcast. Thank y'all for joining us on our first episode. Coming up next month, we're going to have Body of Evidence. Pastor Curtis Thomas will be talking, and we're just going to sit and have the same simple conversation and get you guys a message. So thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with positive vibes.
And I'm Cowbell Charlie.
Yeah, ready for some entertainment, guys. We're going to close it out with good old positive vibes, man. So thank y'all for joining us.
Yeah. Now we know how it go, man. Yes, sir. We done been burned once or twice. Everything's nice though. Still gotta look after, man. Still got to look after my ladies. You hear me? We don't protect them. Who will? Make it on your nerves every now and then. Can't live without them though. Oh, Shelly Shell, talk to him. say, yes, sir. Ain't never something positive to do, ladies. You hear me?
Say yeah. Say yeah.
Hold it.
You better get up, get out, and get some.
Yes, sir. Don't spend all your time trying to get it. You hear me?
Say yeah. Say yeah.
Last time, wait a minute. Yep, say yeah. What's up, Shell?
Lady K.
Nelly Shell on the mic.
What's up, Black?
Get up to that whole turned up band, man. Good to see my man Migos in the building.
If you and I.
Watch it step back there, Bill.
Okay.
Watch it step back there, fella. Yes, sir.
Okay. Say yeah.
Oh, it's time to see what we can do in the water, man. You can't swim, stay in the kiddie pool. Ladies. So if you can swim, come on down to the deep end, man. We can get a little
You know
drink,
what time it is, ladies.
eat a little chips, talk a little trash. You know what I'm talking about?
Let's go. Ladies, come on, let's get wet. What?
I don't know if they can swim, Miss K. They might have to stay in the kiddie pool, splash their little water on their knees or
Come
something.
on, let's get wet. What?
Lady K, let's go with it. Go and talk to him, baby.
Normally, I can keep my cool, but tonight I'm wild.
Yes, Lord.
I'm a bee, you know, in a dangerous mood. Can you match my time?
Go on and mesmerize the camera with you.
Telling me, now you're ready for, so why you hiding? Hey, yeah, oh yeah, talk is cheap.
I say what?
Show me that you know just how nasty I like it. Well, can you blow my mind?
Yes, sir.
Set up my whole body.
What it do, Tina G?
Give you my time.
Tawana.
Can you snatch my soul from me? I don't want nothing. Can't take care. Take me where I ain't been before.
One that's what power, man. Little super friend thing going
Set
on.
up my whole body, my whole body. I say what? Make me sweat, make me high.
Yes, sir.
Make me lose my breath. Make me
Little Wonder Twin power going on, man.
Make me sweat.
I say what?
Take
To the
me
border, baby.
higher. Make me lose my breath. Make me
Sweat.
hopefully, yeah. Woo. You can love some night 'cause I ain't done yet.
Don't she kick the shoes off, man.
I ain't done yet. Privacy, yeah. You ain't gotta go nowhere, boy, stay inside it. Can you blow my mind?
Looking for that one, man.
Set up my whole body.
Who can do it all for me?
Give you my time. Can you snatch my soul from me? My soul from me.
Here we go.
Make me sweat.
I say what? And take her to the border, baby.
Make me lose my breath.
Don't be afraid of a little bit of water, girl.
Make me sweat.
Ladies don't like water in their
Make
hair.
me hotter. Make me lose my
Know the ladies don't like the water in their hair, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Water.
Don't be splashing the water in women's hair, man.
Take us to the water.
You might get yourself hurt. Oh, right there. Right there, y'all. Play it.
Get him black.
Let's just go with this one, man. You hear me?
Come on, Black.
Let's just go with it.
This your birthday. Say.
Well, it's simple.
It's simple.
Well, I love it. Having you near me. Having you here. Our conversation.
Conversation.
Well, outrageous. And you smile. Then I smile. Then I say, hey, this is getting personal. 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 Well, let's stay for a while and play. Well, let's make this a moment. Whoa,
Giving you the best of me.
giving you the best of me.
Amazing.
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 Yeah, oh, yeah.
Having you close to me.
Having you close to me.
Amazing.
Amazing. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, it's breakfast. Lost track of time, but we had a ball. Well, let's check a movie.
A movie.
And then dinner. 2 nights tonight where just unwind and stay. Hey, well, let's make this personal. 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 Well, let's stay for a while and play. Well, let's make this a moment. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Giving you the best of me.
Giving you the best of me.
Amazing.
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 Someone outrageous.
Having you
Oh,
close to me.
having you close to me.
Outrageous.
Amazing. Ah, whoa, ah, giving you the best of me. Amazing. Someone outrageous. Oh,
Close to me.
having you close to me.
Amazing.
Amazing. Gon' play. Yo! Don't make me have to pull you scared up. You outside. Willie Road, Sarah Street. What it do, Bob? Can't forget my man Big Trace in the building. Right there. PB, right there. Ow! over here. Say, take your time, what's the rush? Southside, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. She said, take your time, what's the rush? She said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. Take your time, what's the rush? Southside, say, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. Good to see Miss Lee. I take your time, what's the rush? Good to see Willie Rowe. Now, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. Yo! Yes, sir. You know how we do it, baby. Left to right, it's so easy how we do it, man. Yeah! Yo! Left to right, keep it out of sight. Swing from the chandelier. Well, let's work that. Mix man Mike, stay 10 toes down. Willie Rowe will say 10 toes down. Well, let's swing from the chandelier. Yes, sir. Let's work that. Well, let's work that. Ow. What it do, KC? Good to see Big D. Can't forget Miss Tina. Miss Tawana's in the building. Tina G. Tina G. Go. They not like us. Well, they not like us. Willie Rowe's not us. Third Street's not us. Mike not us. Well, they not like us. Swing from the chandelier. Well, let's swing from the chandelier. Well, let's work that. Well, let's work that. They not like us. They not like us. Southside, they not like us. Mike, they not like us. Willie Rowe, they not like us. Killshire, they not like us. Oh, keep it right there. Wait a minute. Ho! Good to see my man Derek in the building, y'all. Let's bet that money in the Wizards game, baby. to say goodnight, y'all. Time to say bye-bye, y'all. Lady K, go and send them home, baby.
On UrbanSmartNetwork.com.